Welcome back to Sage YouTube channel. So, on Nintendo Switch, we got the release of Legend of the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and overall, it's a pretty nice game. The starting hours is set into the sky world, and so you're on small islands which are floating in the skies. And the early portion of the game, it is what it is at this point. And when you come down to the ground, to the Breath of the Wild area, it's similar to the Breath of the Wild. There is major changes to it, but it feels the same at the same time. Also, it feels different when you have like 10 hours or some hours into the game. The world opens up and it feels different and it has different kind of a vibe. But during the starting hours of the game, it's similar to what you had experienced in the Breath of the Wild, and it feels weird because once you start the game, even though it's a static sequel, you don't have any equipment. The weapons break, the durability is low, which is similar, and there's like various other abilities. The fuse ability is nice if you're a newcomer, because in this game the weapons break pretty easily, so you need that fuse ability so that you can fuse different weapons to the different things, which is a weird thing to see because you can mess up with that system a lot. You can fuse one branch with a sword, or a stone with a sword, stone with the shield, explosion with the shield, which is a different kind of a thing to see. And yeah, you have ultra hand abilities, which is also different. Like you have recall, which rewinds time basically of an object so that you can ride it and go back in time and stuff. Like it just recalls it. And the second ability and the third ability is ascent, which looks different, like it's unique on its count, because when you activate the ascent ability you get teleport, not teleported up, but basically you can go move through rocks and stuff, which feels different because you are not like instant transmission or stuff. You just go through the structure and then pop up on the top, which looks unique. And yeah, weapon durability is something weird in this game because the weapons break easily, and it's also annoying because the weapons breaking and then you need to fuse it. And there's like other abilities which you can use to create your own machines. And there are rideable horses in not the overworld, but on the underworld there are rideable horses. But if you want to travel, you can use the ultra hand abilities to match and make some unique kind of a motor objects which you can ride towards it. And if you're a fan of those things, you can create pretty awesome things if you have the right part. And game is generous because if you make something, it is saved in history, and you can easily craft it again after some while. So pretty nice. And as you can see, you can use this ability pretty widely to create some absurd amount of things. And I think didn't need this mechanic as of now, but it is what it is at this point. And yeah, community is getting very good at it. If you are not a fan of crafting things, it might annoy you a bit. If you want, if you're, because some puzzles needs you to craft things. But yeah, it's annoying in some scenarios, in some scenarios it is not. So yeah, it depends. Like if you like that mechanic, you will be found of it, but I am not. And ultra hand, it's a pretty nice thing because it changes the gameplay pretty much significantly. Because yeah, your stamina is low, but with ultra hand you can fuse objects. And yeah, you can fuse objects. Ultra hand, it has its recall ability and stuff, so pretty nice. And what we saw in Tears of the Kingdom is pretty nice. Like it's a pretty massive change from the Breath of the Wild formula. Not massive change, but a kind of a change, because previously it was a short change. But during the starting hours of the game, it looks like a short change. But when you sink tons of hours into the game, it feels different than Breath of the Wild. And you have side quests and everything. Shrines are gone. It's not called shrines, but some other things. And yeah, it's pretty nice. It's what Breath of the Wild is, but just expanded pretty much significantly. And you can write things, you can do whatever you want. It's like an open world sandbox right at this point. And yeah, it looks pretty nice. And you can just glide your way down to from the overworld to the bottom world, and to the Breath of the Wild area. and stuff. And though there are no system issues as of this point, you can get a stable 30 frames per second. It's, do notice, a Switch game you can't get 60 frames, and it is playable on Switch 30 frames per second. Though there are usual hiccups in some scenarios, the frame goes down, but then it again comes back to 30 frames per second. So yeah, it is what it is at this point. But do note, like, compared to Pokemon game and other game, this has a pretty stable 30 frames per second. So yeah, and Nintendo Switch, it's a pretty old hardware. There are rumors that the new hardware is coming very soon, so maybe on that this game will run pretty significantly. But yeah, that's my review regarding Breath of the Wild overall. Not Breath of the Wild, but the Tears of the Kingdom. But overall, this game is pretty nice. And if you are fond of Legend of Zelda, you can play this game pretty nice. It's still on Switch. So yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about the review? Sound of your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will meet you in the next one. Peace.